aggression. That's its purpose, to defend. And let no one make a mistake of the meaning of this historic day.
But you're fully satisfied with the administration's response on this?
Is it fair to say perhaps $5, $6?
I think they're going to definitely remain above $4 per gallon, and you're going into the driving season in summer, which historically obviously also creates that upward pressure on prices.
I'm missing something here. I'm not feeling an intensity. Do you want to know where there is not a baby formula crisis? In Poland, on the border, where they took in almost 4 million people in 3 months, and there's enough formula there. There's food. They've set up housing. They've been able to do all of this, by the way, with the fundamental help of the U.S. military. So my question is, why isn't there the same mobilization here in America for this crisis? I mean, mothers are being told to go to websites or to drive hours or to try formula that might make their babies sick. Are we really here? And what is solving the problem, not in a matter of weeks, but when are we going to see formula in the mouths of babies in America without any stress in terms of getting it?
Well, Mika, I understand the concern.
And the statement basically says a proposed program is not a decision to issue specific leases or to authorize any drilling or development. This is from y'all's office. So it looks like you are on to shut everything down. Did you know you all put this on?
I am sorry. I am sitting in this hearing and not.
My God, somebody, it shuts it down. It shows what your intent is.
Can you send it around?
Yes, we can. We'll get copies for everybody. Basically, it says Secretary Haaland provides updates on offshore leasing program during the Senate testimony. During testimony before the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources today, Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland, confirmed that despite delays in implementation from the previous administration, the Interior Department will release the proposed program, the next step in the 5-year offshore energy planning process, by June 30th, 2022. Which is the expiration of the current program. A proposed program is not a decision to issue specific leases or to authorize any drilling or development. So we're going to do the proposal, but it doesn't guarantee they're going to do any leasing at all.
Chairman,
yes,
what I could say is I believe what that is saying is that it's the plan that's coming out.
But I think what you're prefacing it by saying after you're acknowledging the plan, you'll have a plan by June 30th, but you went further to say that doesn't mean that you're issuing any specific leases. If you have a plan, you should have. I mean, we've never done this. This is history. We've never done that before. Not issue leases. If you put a plan out, the plan has always been a long-term 5-year plan to lease.
I don't believe that is saying that we're not going to do any of those things. I think it is.
Maybe I'm reading it wrong. We'll get copies for everybody.
I think it is saying that we're putting the plan out, but not saying
with
what's
the intent
in the
not to.
plan.
In all honesty, I'm sorry. We're going to have to agree to disagree. I'm not going to get into back and forth.
Cleaning up their environment so the pollution doesn't cause health problems and so forth. I appreciate that comment, and we're happy to speak with you. We're happy to speak more with you about this issue and, of course, follow the lead. The department is requesting $65 million in the OS to address these hard rock mines. So,
is it more environmentally friendly to develop and produce oil and gas resources off the coast of Louisiana, or is it more environmentally friendly to develop those resources, say, in Venezuela or in another country abroad, in terms of emissions, in terms of climate?
Senator, what I can say is that I think here in our country we care deeply about workers.
But that's not my question. My question is, what has the lowest emissions profile using Louisiana or American workers in the outer continental shelf off the Gulf with American companies and American regulations, or Venezuelan standards and Venezuelan crude?
Senator, I'm not an economist or an engineer or a scientist, but with respect...
I'm almost out of time, and I get a sense that this question is not going to be answered straightforwardly. No offense.
We accelerate the move to clean energy because ultimately a move to clean energy is the homegrown, secure kind of energy that will make us independent.
Should consumers expect gas prices to get worse before they get better?
Honestly, I think they will continue to rise a bit.
Very honest question. Do you believe that gas prices are too high?
I completely understand the crunch that so many Americans are under right now. I mean, I'm thinking back. I've been driving since I was about 18, so I know that we've had other, I remember back when there were lines out the gas stations and that kind of thing. I think that events that are making things difficult for all of us.
So it sounds you're unwilling to say that gas prices are too high.
The average price of gas was $4 a gallon or higher in all 50 states for the first time ever. I know the steps that you've taken. I think you've actually been on the show to talk about opening, for example, the strategic oil reserves back at the end of March, et cetera, what the White House was trying to do to bring prices down. Here we are now, middle of May. Do you have more up your sleeve to try to help bring prices down at the pump? Or at this point, do you believe that the onus is squarely on these oil companies?
Well, absolutely. It's a challenging situation, and too many Americans are heading to the pump and seeing prices that are too high. It's important to understand what's happening in the market. When Putin invaded,
the president's son and his company brought in about $11 million between 2013 and 2018, including some years in which his father was vice president, working as an attorney, a board member to a Ukrainian gas company accused of bribing a prosecutor, and for a joint venture involving a Chinese businessman now accused of fraud, according to an NBC News analysis of a copy of Biden's hard drive and iCloud account, as well as documents released by a Senate committee. During the campaign, then-candidate Joe Biden denied his son profited off a China connection.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?
The records show Hunter Biden's company received nearly $5 million in consulting contracts from that joint venture funded by a Chinese energy company. A snapshot of Hunter Biden's spending shows that for about 5 months in late 2017 and early 2018, he spent more than $200,000 a month on things like luxury hotel rooms, cash withdrawals, dental work, and payments on a Porsche, according to documents on the hard drive.
The immediate focus appears to be for both the president and Hunter Biden is whether or not there'll be any charges as a result of this federal criminal investigation.
But it's really been over the last 6 months, maybe 9 months, that I've noticed it in the grocery store. And I've done some checking. My grocery store bill seems $20, $30, $40 higher. And things have gone up. I actually recently did a side-by-side of my grocery bill from a month ago, from 6 months ago to today, and all but 2 items that I put in my cart on a regular basis had gone up in cost.
What is your message to a mother and a father sitting out there right now saying we're having to mix things together to kind of create our own formula? When will formula be back on the shelves?
Well, I think what the White House has done here is act very, very quickly. And I think we are going to see some of that stress relieve fairly quickly. Part of this, of course, is people are saying, I'm worried I'm not going to find it. So when they do find it, they're buying a lot.